issued, it represents a separate decision for each authority. All matters listed may involve a discussion and possible vote. May I have a roll call, please? I'll start with Scott.
Scott Selby.
Paula Jean O'Neill.
Sandy Slavin.
Michael Mercier.
And online?
Jessica Parr.
Thank you. We have a quorum. Before we start the meeting, I need to, Faith Ann Berry, we lost her on December 30th. She passed away. I'm going to read something that came from her appointment request. She worked as a park ranger, senior park ranger, and assistant manager for parks in San Diego, California, and Idaho. Her last position in the U.S. Fire Administration, fire-related as a fire program manager for the U.S. Fire Administration in Washington, D.C., on wildfire management issues nationwide for U.S. Congress. She was one of the first online to go to Hawaii and research and look at that fire that devastated that community. She will be a great loss to this town. Her knowledge was just unbelievable. I'm going to ask for a moment of silence for Faith, please. Thank you. And if you look at the agenda, she was on the agenda to be recommended for appointment to be a voting member of this conservation. As I said, a loss for her family and for the community. Thank you. We have a Jean Christian in 96 Circuit Ave, wanted to come. Is there anybody here for that? Anybody online, John? Okay, let's start with our public hearing, please, Mike.
All right. Pursuant to the provisions of the Massachusetts Wetland Protection Act, General Laws Chapter 131, Section 40, and the Wareham Wetland Protective Bylaw, Division 6, the public hearing will be held in Room 520, Wareham Multi-Service Center, 48 Marion Road, Wareham, Mass., on Wednesday, January 7th, 2026, at 6 p.m. on the request for determination of applicability for, and Quilly Samara Arajo, 71 North 11th Street, Onset, Mass. The applicant is proposing to construct a new single-family dwelling. The property is located within land subject to coastal storm flowage zone, 8E14. There are no other wetland resources within 100 feet of the property. Second. Map 1, Lot 454A, 16 Wareham Avenue, Wareham, Mass. And notice to open hearing, please.
I have that motion.
Second.
Oh, wait, I need a roll call. Jessica? Scott? Donna? Sorry, Paula Jean?
Here.
Michael? Kwame?
Yeah.
Myself? We have opened the hearing, and who's here representing the project?
Brian Grady, GAF Engineering.
Okay, talk to us, please.
Well, as outlined in the description that was just read, the applicant is looking to construct a single-family dwelling on this property. There was a dwelling here several years ago that was raised. The only resource area is coastal land subject to flooding. There's no buffer zone work to wetlands or other wetland resource areas. We did stake out the property. I don't know if anyone was able to visit it. Property is served by municipal sewer and municipal water. If I could answer any questions.
Okay. Jessica, I'll start with you.
No questions.
Scott?
No questions, thank you.
Paula Jean?
I think I'm correct that one large tree in the back corner is remaining. Is that, can you verify that?
Yeah,
Okay.
that should be no reason to disturb that. I think it's the only one on the lot.
Yeah, that's why.
Michael?
I may have missed it, but in the plans for the driveway, is it going to have an impervious or a pervious surface? I don't think I saw it or not, or caught it.
Yeah, we call for it to be a paved surface.
Paved
yes.
surface?
Yeah.
All right. Thank
We
you.
do have dry wells for the roof, though.
Gotcha. Okay.
Kwame?
No questions, thank you.
Christine, any comments? Anybody online or in the audience regarding this project? I'm seeing none.
Motion to close the hearing?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. I need a roll call. Jessica?
Aye.
Scott?
Aye.
Paula Jean?
Aye.
Sandy, yes. Kwame?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
We have voted on to close the hearing. Christine, your recommendation?
-2, -6.
So moved?
I have that motion.
Second?
Second. Jessica?
Aye.
Scott?
Aye.
Paula Jean?
Aye.
Michael?
Aye.
Kwame?
Yes.
Sandy, yes. You have the project. Please don't start anything until you get your paperwork. Okay?
Thank you very
Thank
much.
And I'm going to be honest, folks, I may not have my full game on tonight, so please help me.
I don't think any of us do right now.
Next hearing, please.
On the request for determination of applicability for Schoolhouse Rocks LLC, 45 Main Street, Mattapoisett, Massachusetts, 02739 rather. The project consists of rehabilitating the old West Wareham School. The applicants are proposing 7 apartments within the building. There will be no change to the footprint of the building. A total of 19 parking spaces are provided. Map 100, Lot 1017, 1073 Main Street in Wareham, Mass. And notice to open hearing.
Second.
I have a second. All in favor, Jessica?
Aye.
Scott?
Aye.
Paula Jean? Michael?
Aye.
Kwame?
Yes.
Sandy? Yes. The hearing is open. And who's here representing the broad project?
Brian Grady with GAF Engineering. We have filed this request for determination with the board pursuant to the site plan review section of the town bylaws. We're not doing any work in any buffer zone to any wetland resource areas, but the site plan section of the bylaw requires an RDA be filed if you're filing a site plan before the planning board or the ZBA. So there's no work within the buffer zone to any of the adjacent bordering vegetated wetland or the pond.
Okay, questions? Jessica?
No questions.
Scott?
I just have a simple question, Brian. It has to do with the parking area. I wasn't able to get out there, but I would assume an old parking area.
Yes.
Are there any plans to
Yes.
remove the existing pavement and replace it?
It'll all be redone, yes. There's, as you look at the plan, you'll see there's sewage disposal system, force mains, drainage areas, so all the parking will be redone. The entrance driveway will be widened a little bit. We'll be putting in infiltration areas for the drainage where there currently isn't any. So, yes, and I did have a verbal conversation with the review engineer for the town, who has the project before him. Very minor comments, so it's getting a third-party review from the town engineer as well.
Okay, so will there be any kind of, like hydrodynamic separators or any of that kind of stuff in the plans?
Yeah, there'll be the standard catch basins, but the catch basins just before the infiltration will be water quality control. Structures proprietary catch basins, yes.
Okay. The reason I ask is because we're moving more toward the area, at least I am, where we need to think about, I mean, you've maybe heard some of these conversations 20, 30 years down the line, when these systems, these sophisticated engineering, beautifully engineered systems, but if they're not maintained over time, then anything that's in those parking areas would flow directly into the wetlands. So I don't know really how I should go forward on this, but as long as there's, and I'll use the term active engineering system rather than a passive engineering system. Passive meaning where something like a swale or a catch basin, something like that, where you don't need to maintain it too much, as opposed to something where you have to have filters changed or vacuuming periodically and monitoring. If it's going to be an active engineering system, we might want to consider in an order of conditions, some way of guaranteeing that those systems will be maintained over the long period of time. So I know other towns like Mattapoisett, for example, have required 20-year bonds. So if the maintenance schedule has failed, then the town would be able to go and do that maintenance and have compensation for that. So I'm thinking that for an order of conditions, we'll start, I would prefer to start with implementing a surety bond for maintenance for those active engineering separator systems and so on.
This is, sorry, Scott,
Yeah.
outside of our scope. To me, this issue should be brought up to the planning board.
What's
Well, it's not outside our scope.
Yes, it is. It's totally outside of I mean, yes, we're always concerned about the water, but to me, planning is looking at this project, and to me, that type of thing is something that could be directed through their order of conditions for the
Well, it's
project.
before the zoning board of appeals.
Sorry, for
Under the
zoning-
site plan, and
Yes.
it's receiving a third-party review from the town's engineer.
So we should, if we're concerned, should come to a zoning meeting and make our voice heard.
Well, I will tell you that town of Mattapoisett, it's the Conservation Commission that put the order of conditions on requiring bonding for the maintenance schedule, maintenance of a maintenance schedule
For all projects or just within their jurisdiction?
within their jurisdiction.
And this isn't.
Isn't it within the land subject to coastal?
Nope. It's beyond the river edge and everything else like that. We're only doing it because it's being required by zoning to say that we have no impact on the water.
I stand corrected.
Well, no,
No, but your point's well
Point's
taken
well
for future
taken.
projects.
yes.
Yeah, but this one isn't subject or jurisdictional conservation. We've made this application because the site plan review section of the zoning bylaw requires some sort of application, an RDA or an NOI,
Okay.
so that whoever it is, the planning board or the zoning board, knows that conservation has looked at it and made a determination one way or the other.
So I guess, not a question for you, Brian, but for us then, is there a way for us to communicate this concern to the zoning board of appeals or to the planning board, maybe through the conservation agent?
We could take it up with, actually to the zoning board itself, but you do have Josh, who is the head of it all.
Yeah.
Speak to Josh, because he will be representing all the town's interest in planning, zoning, and conservation.
Yeah, I'll talk with them about it tomorrow.
Be great. Thank you, Christine.
Thank you. Christine, any comments on this?
No.
Anybody in the audience or online would like to comment on this project?
We
rest of
didn't
the
do
board.
the rest
Yeah,
of
we
us.
got-
Oh, I didn't.
No.
Paula Jean, I told you I
Okay,
was
that's okay.
not
We're
here
We
tonight.
got your back.
I apologize. Paula
Fine.
Jean,
Well, Scott expressed my concerns also, but I know as this is an RDA, not an NOI, but if we had this been an NOI, I think it's important that we start to consider that. Because once everyone's cashed their checks and left town, and who's in charge? I did go over there, and I had scuffed my feet through under the snow, and I thought that pavement was the old pea stone kind. I thought that was gonna be good, and I thought, aha, they won't have to repave it. But no, huh?
A few sections might be passable, but, you're
Yeah.
not going to
I must
all
have,
this money into the property and leave
Yeah.
the pavement in that
or
condition.
I picked the good spots. I don't know. And then, in the back, it's very clear where the pavement ends, and then it's woods. None of those woods or anything are
No.
impacted by this project?
No.
No, okay.
Mhm.
Thank you very much.
Yep, we're staying within the altered area.
Michael.
Okay, so far, two of my concerns have already been expressed between the parking lot, which I couldn't tell because there was snow on the ground. So far, that's already been addressed. And then Paula Jean just discussed about the woods and the water. Even though it's not technically our responsibility, has been expressed before, this question's been expressed before. Any concerns about the historic features of the building? Because I guess it is so old, it's like, what, 120-something years old, I guess?
Well, yeah, they're working hard to maintain the exterior look of the historic structure. The interior will be modified significantly, but the exterior, there won't be significant changes. You know, we got to bring it up to code, a lot of those things. But the exterior, they want to preserve that as much as possible, yeah.
Okay, so there isn't any, like, any historic, any
It's not a
historic-
demolition, so it doesn't have to go
Nothing like
before
that.
Historic Commission.
All right, I was just concerned about that, that's all.
Since it's not being removed, Historic Commission has,
Nothing.
it's not represented to them,
And it's not in the historic
and it's not
district.
in a district.
All right,
Yes.
I was just wondering about that, okay.
Yeah, but that's part of the attraction of the property, so they want to maintain that, yes.
Kwame,
Okay,
Oh, hi, Brian. So how many acres does that property sit on? Is it like 3.5?
It's a good-sized property.
it's more than what the building and parking lot sits on.
Right.
It's 2 acres.
Oh, okay, okay. And, yeah, I think that, that pavement's all gonna have to get junked because that thing's all ripped up. It's definitely, but anyways, so there's no plans on the expansion of the parking, even though you're probably gonna have 19, maybe 20. 20's gonna turn into 30, so you're probably gonna have to have a big parking lot.
Well, all the pavement's going to be replaced, the driveway will be widened.
But it won't be expanding.
Actually, there's going to be less pavement on the site, because right now there's pavement on the right side of the building. That was kind of a play area. That'll
Yep.
all be removed, so it's going to be less pavement on site after development.
Excellent. And I'm sure that that building's probably has all kind of asbestos in it. It's over 100 years old, but that's not
Beyond us.
beyond us. So signage, is that possible, Christine, for the wetlands area to say, this is like no-touch area?
I mean, it's
No.
outside of our jurisdiction.
Yep,
It-
we're totally,
they-
we're only here to say we're not involved in the project at all. That's all we're here to say
Okay.
to Brian, to say, hey, tell zoning, we have no jurisdiction on this property.
I mean, if you wanted to be courteous and put up a couple of little signs, you could. But
Okay.
Okay?
Well, we're well beyond the 50-foot no disturb. We're not even into the 100-foot, so.
yeah.
Yes.
Well, everything's all overgrown now, so, yeah, I agree.
All right.
That's all. Thank you.
Now, Christine, any comments?
No. not at
Anybody online or in the audience to comment on this? They came before CPC because they were thinking about affordable housing. They pulled it. The Open Space Committee spent the money to remove the defunct playground equipment in the back. So I've been at this project this site for several different projects, and I have no questions. And good luck on rehabbing that building. A lot of people went to the school there for a long time. Nobody online, no one in the audience. I need a motion to close.
Motion to close the hearing?
I have a
Second.
motion and a second. All in favor, Jessica?
Aye.
Scott?
Aye.
Paula Jean? Sandy, yes. Michael?
Yes.
Kwame?
Yes.
The hearing is closed. Your recommendation, Christine?
-1, -4.
Right, so moved?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, Jessica?
Aye.
Scott?
Aye.
Paula Jean?
Aye.
Michael? Kwame? Sandy? Done.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Next, please.
On the request for determination of applicability for Anthony Petrucci, P.O. Box 242, Southeastern Mass. 202375. The applicant is proposing to raise an existing dwelling and construct a new single-family dwelling with associated site improvements. The property is located within land subject to coastal zone flowage zone VE 18. There are no other wetland resource areas within 100 feet of the property. Map 50, A lot 23B, 30 Bond Street, Wareham, Mass. And notice to open hearing.
Okay.
Second.
I have a motion to open the hearing. I heard a second. Jessica?
Aye.
Scott?
Aye.
Paula Jean? Michael?
Yes.
Kwame?
Yes.
Sandy, yes, the hearing is open. And before we continue, I forgot to let anybody here who might be interested, but the request for Safe Harbor Marina has been requested until February 18th, so that we will have no discussion on that property should anybody be here looking for it, and I should apologize for not doing it at the beginning. And who's here representing this project at 30 Barnes Street?
Brian Grady, GAF Engineering.
You're a busy person. Here we go.
Well, we're rolling 2 meetings into one, I guess.
That's true. That's true. We missed one because we didn't have a quorum. Okay,
So this is they're going to tear down the existing home and construct a new home on the property. The new home will have to comply with the current building code. It'll be constructed on concrete piers. The resource area, again, is only land subject to coastal storm flowage. No other buffer zones or resource areas. There are 2 streets in front of the property and developed homes on the other 3 sides. We are providing dry wells for roof runoff, and the driveway was proposed to be paved. Project, the home is connected to municipal sewer and municipal water. If I could answer any questions.
Jessica,
No questions.
Scott,
No questions.
Paula Jean,
No questions, thank you.
Michael,
No questions, thank you.
Kwame,
None for me, thank you.
and I have none. Christine, any comments?
No, no comments.
Is there anybody in the audience or online that would like to comment on 30 Barnes Street? Hearing and seeing none,
All right, motion to close hearing?
I have a motion to close the hearing, and I have a second. All in favor, Jessica, Scott.
Aye.
Paula
Aye.
Jean, Michael.
Aye.
Kwame.
Yes.
Sandy, the hearing is closed. Christine, your recommendation.
-2, -6.
So moved.
Second?
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, Jessica,
Aye.
Scott,
Aye.
Paula Jean, Michael, Kwame, Sandy, yes, done. Again, do not start any work until you get the paperwork from Christine on this one, okay? Thank you.
All right, you all set?
Next one, please.
All right. On the request for a notice of intent for Bruce Myers, 22 Pine Tree Drive, Buzzards Bay, Mass. 02532. The applicant is proposing the installation of approximately 190 feet of vinyl sheet pile bulkhead. The new sheet piles will be installed approximately 12 to 18 feet behind existing granite block wall. Jason, I'm sorry?
Inches.
Oh, inches behind. A significant portion of the existing granite block wall has failed or is failing and needs to be replaced. Map 5, Lot LC2, 22 Pine Tree Drive, Wareham, Mass. And notice to open hearing.
I have a motion
Second.
and a second. All in favor, Jessica, Scott,
Aye.
Paula Jean, Sandy, Michael, Kwame. Hearing is open, and who's representing this project again?
Brian Grady, GAF Engineering. I don't know how many of you were able to visit the site. What we're proposing here, what the applicant is proposing is to replace a failed seawall, a large granite block seawall that has, a portion of it has failed, and the remaining portion, if you were there, is kind of leaning. And so we want to take care of it all. The way that will be accomplished, as read in the advertisement, we're proposing a sheet pile wall. It will be behind the existing granite block wall. All work will be done from the land side of the project. They'll be working with a small excavator. What will happen is they'll remove that top course of granite, keeping the lower courses in place for stabilization. Then they'll start placing from the, which direction are we? Well, as you're looking at the plan, it'll be the left side. They'll start working from the left side, working their way out. Access to the property is, as you're looking at it from the street, will be on the left side of the house. There's an existing boat ramp there. So that's where they've always pulled the boat out, put the boat into the water, so it's accessible for heavy machinery. So we'll be doing the work again with a small excavator from the landward side. After the granite blocks, there's actually going to be 2 machines on site. There'll be Mr. Velacco, who's done a number of projects in town. I think you're all familiar with him. He'll be working with Luke Grant. So Mr. Velacco will take that granite block, kind of bring it to where you see the pier, the steps coming down the bank and the pier. He'll pass it to Mr. Grant, who'll have, again, a small piece of machinery, take it up, and probably put it directly on a trailer in the paved parking area up at the street. So once that top course is gone, they'll flatten it out for a little working area, then they'll start to install the sheet piles, working their way out. And when the project is complete, the remaining granite blocks will be removed. There's a little bit of drainage stone and some fabric behind the blocks. All that will be removed at that time, and the remaining granite blocks will be removed. And that's a very simplified overview of the project. Again, all work will be done from the land side. Last thing I forgot to mention, the wall's going to be 6, 8 inches higher. The new sheet pile wall will be 6 to 8 inches higher than the existing wall. So what that's going to mean is Mr. Meyer's father has ALS, so access for him is very important. So they'll be raising the pier rather than have a step. They'll be raising, kind of ramping up the pier to match the new stairs at the new height. So again, all that work will be done from the land side. There'll be no need for a barge to do that work. They can probably do it with some come-alongs, attach them to the piles, ratchet it up, and then secure them again to the new height. So I believe that's everything in a very quick summary, if I could answer any questions.
Start with Jessica.
No questions.
Scott?
I don't suppose it's any of my business, but I'm wondering with the sea level rise calculations, if 6 to 8 inches above the current is high enough.
Well, if you look at the wall, high water mark is about halfway up. So there's still a good, with the existing wall, a good 12, 18 inches right now. So, yeah, you know, we talked about raising it higher with Mr. Myers, and that's kind of to keep the handicapped access. That's what he wanted to do. But it's going to last a good time frame. It may need to be done again in the distant future, but I think we'll get a good period of time.
Okay. And then the other question I had was, these hammers, the vibrating hammers that drive the pilings down, do you know if there's, maybe I'm asking the wrong person, but is there any research on the effects of those kinds of tools on the sea life, on the shellfish and so on?
Not that I'm aware of. I think that's closed. No, it's not closed for shellfishing. But no, I don't know of any studies.
Okay,
I don't
that's
know
all
how
I
they-
have, thank you.
Paula Jean?
That was an interesting question, because when I went there, of course, and it's shallow, and it looked very much like, I always wanted, you know, jump in with my quahog rig, and it looked like there would be shellfish there, so that's an interesting question. My one thing is, I guess I was assuming the blocks are going to be put back in just to have the aesthetic of the granite blocks. What are you going to do with those blocks? It's a lot of granite.
Well, Mr. Grant's very excited to get them. What he's going to do with them, I do not know.
Oh, okay,
But they're
Wow.
unique.
okay.
And my understanding is I think they came from a demolition of a courthouse in Boston at one time.
So one more iteration, one more life for the granite.
Yeah, he's very excited. They're quite unusual
Yeah.
and rare to see blocks
But
of
they're
that size, so.
Pretty cool.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you.
Michael?
No questions, thank you.
Kwame?
Oh, none for me, thank you.
If the pylons were going to be another 6 to 8 inches higher, will there be any backfill to ease the lawn?
Yeah, the grade will be raised accordingly, and I did forget to mention, as you see on the plan, what Mr. Meyer wanted was a little in the upland side, a sand seating area.
Notice that, yeah.
So the grade will be raised to match the new height of the wall, the sand seating area. There'll be a cap on top of the sheet pile wall. So that'll all be very close to, that grade will be raised accordingly. I think one step at the bottom of the steps coming down the bank will have to be removed to accommodate that new grade height.
So will the lawn be seeded all the way down to the pylons, other than the sand area?
Well, the lawn will remain as it is, and what will be removed is just the sand seating area.
But it will be filled in where it's eroded?
Yes, yeah, it'll all be filled in, the grade we brought up to the new height of the sheet pile wall, correct.
Thank you. Let me check my note. That was it. Christine, any comments?
Just a couple. So it says there's 5,000 square feet of land subject to coastal storm flowage being altered. Is any of that temporary or is it all permanent?
It's mostly temporary, just construction activity. The permanent would just be the wall itself in the sand seating area. The rest of it will kind of go back to what exists. Actually, if you take the removal of the granite block wall, the sheet pile will occupy a smaller footprint. So it's temporary alteration for the most part, yes.
All right. And then I also had a question with the vibratory hammers. Do you happen to know what type of soil is in the area?
We did a septic upgrade for this property many years ago. We did a septic upgrade on the property to the right. It's all very nice coarse sands.
All right. Just wanted to find that out just because it might have had to be a higher frequency if, it wasn't the right kind. And
Mr. Vlaco did the home at 14 Pine Tree
yes.
a year or so ago, and I met with him on this property. He didn't express any issues that he encountered over there with getting the piles in, the sheet pile wall over there, so I don't expect any.
All right. And then just one more thing. I know. You had mentioned that there was that one stone that was going to be coming out of that marsh.
Yeah, I'm trying to recall.
It's kind of like an older one that fell
Yep.
in as it
Yep.
crumbled.
Yeah, and the one kind of at the corner of the property lines, yeah, that probably will be brought back and used, because when the sheet pile goes in, it abuts the neighbor's wall, which is a granite stone wall, so when the sheet pile goes in, there'll be a short section of that granite that'll be reconstructed and mortared, and one of those stones has fallen into the marsh, and that'll be taken out and probably used for that small section of wall to be rebuilt.
I have anything else? Because I have another question.
Oh, I was just going to say, it more than likely will fill back in, but maybe a couple of Spartina alterniflora plants could be put in the area, in the
Yeah,
hollow.
that shouldn't be a problem. It's going to be a very small area, so it shouldn't be an issue at all.
Yeah.
Put that in your conditions, sure.
So when the pylon goes in, you're going to remove the concrete, the granite blocks, then you're going to put the pylon in. The soil being exposed from the blocks being removed in the pylon, it will just be up to nature to ease it in, to
Well, no,
wash it in?
We're going to take the top course off. The lower courses will be left for stabilization during the project. And once that wall construction is complete, he'll come back with his machinery, again, do the dance of Mr. Vlaco will grab this granite block, pass it to Mr. Grant, and as that goes down, there's some drainage stone behind the granite blocks. He'll use, again, his upland side machinery with his little bucket to take that material out and get rid of it off-site.
I was really concerned about the material in front of the new wall.
Yeah, so I'm saying between the new wall and the granite,
No,
in front of,
the granite goes, so the
Right.
new wall is there. The
Yep.
granite's gone, you got the sea. What happens to that soil? That's where the waves are going to hit it now that the granite blocks are gone. it's going to hit up against the new sheet.
Well, there's some natural
It's up,
sands there that
Okay.
will be left in place. You know, he's not going to excavate.
so you'll try not to put soil.
Right. There shouldn't be any need to add any soil. We're going to remove the
just-
drainage zone, and there's some fabric around the drainage
Yep,
zone. That'll
so-
be removed.
There will not be a whole lot of lawn material flowing into the water when you remove the granite and put in the new sheet.
No, because he's going to take that first block down. He'll have to take the adjacent grade down, so his machinery has a
Okay.
level surface to work on.
Right.
So that lawn and the topsoil and any mineral soil will be removed.
Upland from,
Might be stockpiled and come back in once the wall's completed to
but
bring
not
that grade
into,
up. Yeah,
not subject to a tide.
correct,
Okay,
correct.
thank you. Is there anybody online or in the audience who would like to comment on this project?
Madam Chair, I have just one more note.
Yep.
I just did a quick search, and I found an article published in 2022 in Scientific Reports, which is a reputable scientific peer-reviewed journal. A paper published by UN Yezukel et al. It's called "Pile Driving Repeatedly Impacts the Giant Scallop Placopecten Megallanicus." And this is the first field study, apparently, of assessing the impact on shellfish of, in this case, pile driving, which would be a higher amplitude, I would guess, than the small machine you're using, but maybe at closer levels. And if I could just read a very short part of their conclusion. Evidence of diverse impacts from both anthropogenic noise and substrate-borne vibrations is mounting, underscoring the need for broader understanding of noise impacts on marine organisms to inform management across taxonomic groups and life stages. This field-based study highlighted the importance of considering the behavioral and potentially physiological impacts of these noise things on bivalves when designing OSW plans or these impact plans. The persistent in situ impacts to a range of life stages are concerning. Yet our data show there may be means to mitigate these impacts, including distance, receive levels, and adopting other techniques such as the vibratory hammer. So the point is that we might want to keep our eye on this kind of thing. If there are alternate methods or mitigation strategies for doing this, obviously we can't require you to do this now because it's just the first paper. But something to keep in mind for all of us, I think, for future impacts on shellfish.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Nobody online, nobody in the audience on this comment? Christine commented on it, so I need a motion to close.
Motion to close the hearing,
I have
please.
a motion to close the hearing. I have a second. Jessica?
Aye.
Scott? Paula Jean? Michael?
Yes.
Kwame?
Yes.
Sandy? Yes, the hearing is closed. Christine, your recommendation and order of conditions.
Standard order of conditions with Spartina alterniflora being planted in that hollow left by that stone.
So moved.
Second.
All right, thank you. All in favor? Jessica? Scott?
Aye.
Paula
Aye.
Jean? Kwame?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
Sandy? Yes, you have it with that order of conditions.
Thank you.
Thank you. Don't do any work until you get all your paperwork.
Absolutely.
I keep saying that because once I didn't say it and they did it the next day and I got into trouble. Okay, next one, please.
All right. On the request for notice of intent for David and, was it Dawn and David Goldstein, 26083B, Cranberry Highway, Wareham, Mass. 02571. Proposed septic system upgrade, map 132, lot 1042 and 143A, 26083 and 2683B, Cranberry Highway in Wareham, Mass. And notice to open hearing.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor? Jessica? Scott?
Aye.
Paula?
Aye.
Jean? Michael?
Yes.
Kwame?
Yes.
Sandy? The hearing is open. I'm going to do that as fast as I can.
Sure.
You're good?
You're fast.
I'll miss somebody, but, okay, and who's here representing this project, please?
Good evening, Brad Bertola with JC Engineering on behalf of the applicants.
Okay, you're up.
This project involves a septic system upgrade at 2683 Cranberry Highway. We actually are refiling on a project that has an expired permit from probably about 10 years ago. They got 1 or 2 extensions, but never moved forward with it. The existing cesspool is going to be removed and replaced with a Title V compliant septic system with microfast insert for advanced nitrogen removal. If you were at the site, we did stake it out. A majority of the area being altered is currently either lawn or concrete pads, dry parking area. So there'll be very minimal disturbance to any of the vegetation that's existing there. And we have very minor grade changes proposed. We do provide a erosion control barrier between the house and the shed in the rear to protect the resource areas, which is a bordering vegetated wetland. And a portion of the work will be within land subject to coastal storm flowage. If you have any questions on the project, I'd be happy to answer.
I'm glad to see another cesspool bite the dust. We're getting there, one at a
Yep.
time. Okay, Jessica. Wait a minute.
No question.
Yeah, I opened the hearing. Yeah, Jessica. Yeah,
No questions.
thank you. Scott,
No questions?
Paula Jean.
So I probably shouldn't even ask it because you just said you're not going to disturb any of the vegetation, because right up, there were stakes right next to some of those large trees.
Yeah, we
And I
intend to keep all the
You're going to keep
trees,
them all,
yeah.
okay, that's what, and then the stakes were like right to the edge of the wet. And at first I thought, whoa, and then that was just defining where it was, right?
Yeah, we did stake out the erosion control barriers, so
Yeah.
there were some that went right in
They
between
were
a
right in the
shrub and a
cattails,
tree.
just-
Yeah,
yeah.
that's just for the
Okay,
the
that's what I thought.
sill fence.
Okay, thank you, Brad.
Michael,
No questions, thank you.
Kwame.
Thank you for staking it out, Brad. And nice beard.
Getting there.
It looks like she's going to lose her clothesline.
Oh, they can,
Oh, no.
Madam Chair, is that within our jurisdiction?
It's, no, but I wanted to make the comment because we don't always have to use dryers. Okay, no, it's not. Christine. And thank you, Scott, for pointing that out.
No, the only comment I have is that the orientation has changed, and that's kind of about it. And there's less gallons used per day, which is great, than the original plan it was 2016. So, yeah.
Okay. Anybody online or in the audience would like to comment on this project?
Okay, motion to close the hearing?
Motion in a second to close the hearing. Jessica.
Aye.
Scott, Paula Jean.
Aye.
Michael,
Aye.
Kwame,
Yes.
Sandy. The hearing is closed. Christine, your recommendation.
With standard order of conditions.
So moved?
I have a motion.
Second.
And a second. All in favor. Jessica.
Aye.
Scott.
Aye.
Paula Jean.
Aye.
Michael.
Aye.
Kwame.
Yes.
Sandy. We're done. You're closed. You're approved. Don't start anything until you get your paperwork.
sounds good,
Thank you. Next, please.
All right. On the request for notice of intent for George, if I mispronounced this, I'm sorry, Mavridis, 98 Capon Street, Milton, Mass. The applicants propose to raise and rebuild an existing single-family home and install a new innovative alternative, Title V septic system, remove and reconstruct retaining walls, install all associated utility connections, grading, landscaping, and apprentices. Map 19, Lot 58, 59, and 78, 17 Atlantic Avenue in Wareham, Mass. And notice to open the hearing.
I have a motion
Second.
and a second. All in favor. Jessica.
Aye.
Scott. Paula Jean. Mikey. Kwame.
Yes.
Sandy. Yes. And who's here representing the project?
For the record, Zach Basinski, professional engineer, Bracken Engineering.
Joseph Fournier, JFF Design Architects, Waltham, Mass.
Before we start, do you have the green cards?
We had certificate of mailings that were sent out. They were part of the package that was sent in on the back.
Really? Because I received a notice and it wasn't registered letter.
This is through the post office, which is equivalent to a green card.
I just got it in the mail. weird. Okay, because I know it came registered letter going for the zoning board, but I did not get registered letter for conservation.
Yeah, we had it through the certificate of mailing, which is an equivalent to the postal service for,
Really? I've never, okay,
yeah, it saves the applicant a couple bucks.
yes, it does.
Due
That's
respect,
why,
I was looking for my passport.
I was gonna say, zoning did it, why didn't we? Okay, that's all. So, all right, talk to us about the project,
Again,
please.
for the record, Zach Basinski. We're here on behalf of the applicant, 17 Atlantic Avenue, an existing single-family house. House was built in 1925, sits on a 12,000 square foot lot. It's abutted to the north by Shell Point Bay, the associated land subject to coastal storm flowage, elevation 14, a salt marsh at the base of the slope, and the associated coastal bank was delineated based on 92-1. So the applicants recently purchased the property. House was damaged in a fire a few years ago. It's sat vacant. We're now looking to demolish the existing house, or demo and raise it. Rebuild a new two-bedroom structure on the lot. House will be serviced by a new on-site septic system up in the front here, furthest away from the resource areas, critical resource areas on the lot, will be a denitrification septic system. Currently, the house is serviced by an old cesspool that sits out in the backyard on the lot. So vast improvement on that.
Another cesspool gone.
Another cesspool gone, nitrogen reduced. House will be serviced by dry wells on site to reduce stormwater runoff. Underneath the proposed deck, we will have additional stone and impervious area for recharge, any roof runoff from the structure. Currently on the site, if you've done a site visit, there is no driveway. So currently the house sits up on a little knoll. The applicants are going to be proposing to remove the wall and improve the situation by installing a new pervious driveway. Again, Joe's the architect on the lot. We've gone back and forth about this, talking about pervious, impervious. We're going to look at doing some type of open grid system over the septic system so that we can recharge through it. Under current conditions, we do have an existing shed that sits on the coastal bank. We're going to be removing that, pulling all that structure back off of the top of the bank. Overall, we did initially try to look at sliding the house further away from the resource areas on the lot, but after talking with Patrick through the health department and siting of the septic system, we needed to site the septic up on the front. We are going in front of the Board of Health to ask for relief on that, to at least get everything as far forward as possible on the lot and away from the resource areas. And again, it's two bedrooms proposed, so no increase in nitrogen, and it'll be a decrease because of the nitrogen septic system proposed as part of the project. Stormwater, again, will be maintained on site. No concerns about disturbing the existing bank. It's well vegetated on it. The existing lawn area down the back will be removed. We can replant that with some mitigation plantings and reduce the lawn area on site as well. There are 5 proposed trees to be removed as a result of the project. We're replacing 4 trees on the lot to offset that coming back in. With that, we believe we meet all the performance standards, and I'll turn it over for questions.
All right. Jessica,
No questions.
Scott,
Am I correct in assuming that the footprint of the house is closer to the resource area, the proposed new structure?
It's actually not, it's the same footprint. We're filling in one section of it, yes.
We do have a little smaller section that's right there on top, but the main structure is outside of the resource area.
I'm looking at it's kind of small, deck slash something.
Yeah, so we do have a proposed deck that just overhangs the top of the coastal bank right through there. I'm talking with Joe, we're gonna propose to do diamond pier foundation systems. I don't know if you've seen those before, where it's a no excavation. So it's an actual concrete block that sits, and then they use pins to put it in. So it's an equivalent to a sonotube, but it's for no excavation and no disturbance.
So, a little latitude here, Madam Chair. How does that meet code then, if it doesn't go down below the frost level?
The pins actually go below the 4-foot frost level.
Oh, the pins do, okay.
Yeah.
There are other systems too. There's a pneumatic system that we could consider as well that gets pressed into the ground, and that also meets frost level as well.
Okay. Yeah, so that deck pergola area then does get closer to the resource area.
It just clips on that corner, but it's actually less because we're pulling everything back with the existing shed that sits on the bank right now. And then it would be that actual deck would be elevated up, and then that's why we went with the diamond pier or the other Matic system that Joe was just talking about.
Okay, no more questions.
Paula Jean?
I like that you're going to put in a driveway that at least will let water through it. Thank you. I am concerned about, particularly the location is so close to the resource area that, I think you mentioned you were taking out 4 trees, but I see at least 6 trees here with TBR on the plan. And that's, you know, when you look at that area and it's all open, and that's just, we keep losing trees, and there's 6 more gone.
Oh,
And is there any way we could keep some of those trees?
yeah, the ones in the back, we were concerned about if the demo
Yep.
of the house, if getting to them later on with it. So we could look at maybe the
You
ones
know,
to the north if
We're
possible.
just losing it left and right, and this is one more. And then I see this was gonna be a couple of planted, but, you know, a sapling doesn't really make up for a mature tree that's removed.
Fair.
So I would like to see not all of those trees, the cedar, some were oaks. Is there a way we could keep some?
Yeah, we could talk to the client and see what we can do.
We also want to check the condition of them as well, and
Right.
one of the things we can do is go.
I did
go
not
for-
scrutinize them, but I saw them, and, you know, it's winter, it's harder to tell.
I think one of the ones that you're talking about, I think it was a little iffy. So
And if he won, that's a different story, yeah.
that's fair. So we could look at doing larger calibers as well,
That
instead
would-
of the saplings.
That would be good, because I know putting in a larger tree is much more of an expense, but the loss of trees is an intangible expense to all of us.
Sure. I think the client would be, you know, if everything goes well, I think the client would be more than amenable to
Okay,
putting in a
Thank
fair
you.
larger tree, sure.
Michael?
The issue of the footprint of the house has already been addressed, so I don't have any other issues beyond that. Thank you.
Kwame?
How many feet is you're using the existing deck and then just modifying it, correct? Or is it going to be bigger?
No, there's no existing deck there, the porch area, so we're infilling.
Well, I'm sorry, the back of the house.
Yeah, we're infilling just this little portion right through here. A portion of it's already the existing deck, so the
Yes.
new structure would be within that little footprint through there on the back.
And so no expansion, it's just the same footprint.
This main footprint, and it's only expanding right through there just to square that off, because it was an old addition that was on it. So it's kind of a funky footprint. So when Joe redesigned the house, he just boxed out the house right through there on that. So,
There is remnants of an existing deck, a former deck, but with the fire, it kind of didn't survive with the fire. But you can see there are sonotubes there now, so it's in that area. I don't believe it's as large, though.
And as far as the drainage for the house, what are you going to propose?
so we have a couple dry walls that are on here.
Drywalls, yeah?
Underneath the house, underneath the deck, we can do stone, so that recharges well through that. On the plan, we have drip downspouts into a drip channel to capture it, and then that will be connected also to the dry wells. And then the pervious driveway over here as well.
Perfect. Thank you so much, appreciate it.
When you talk about it will be the existing same footprint, does that include all of the decks and stairs and porches and stuff like that?
No, because we bring the top of foundation up because of the coastal, being a coastal home.
How far up?
So right now, the top of foundation is elevation 17. The new top of foundation will be up at 20.
Even on top of the hill?
Yeah, because to get the garage to work with the grades of the driveway and then the building code requirements going up with it. So the structure has to go up in height, and that gives us the coastal resiliency too.
Where's the garage?
It's actually a
an
drive under through this side.
Oh, so it's going to be really raised.
So it comes up the additional feet so you can get the.
So the
clearance for
driveway
garage
will
door.
be over the septic system, and you drive over the septic system to park under the house.
Get under the house.
Correct.
There is some activity within the 30-foot.
Correct, yeah, it's all existing structures that are there, so.
No, the deck and the porch is new.
This portion back.
Yeah, that's all new.
But we've pulled, yeah, over the existing lawn area that's there today within the 30.
And the side along the water, Shell Point Bay. On the east side, you've got a deck and porch.
That's just to keep the continuity because it's coming up with everything when they're raised up off of the lawn. Because right now, under existing, they had this existing walkway that came through to a patio that sat right on top of the bank. Right there. So this here with the programming, they'll come up the stairs, stay off of the actual lawn area, be on, just dedicated to staying within the deck area on the house because it comes up with the steps and comes up with the foundation.
Okay. The arborvitae that's along the broken wall, is it going to be taken down? The 4 arborvitae?
They're not proposed to be taken down at the moment.
But how are you going to repair the wall, which is falling down?
The arborvitae's up in, oh, these ones up here?
Yes, I think it doesn't say
Oh, yeah,
remove
yeah,
them.
those arborvitae's,
Should probably go.
those are coming out right through there. Yep. We could replant them, eastern red cedars.
If we
So
can
we-
salvage, we will.
It would be nice to keep them. They're nice and big and looking pretty good. Can you keep them and still repair the broken wall
I think we would have to look at, see if we can,
where the roots are?
we could, right, we could uproot it, salvage it on site, and then replant it once the wall. Afraid that it, with the root structure, the wall construction may interrupt the root structure. So if we could actually salvage it on site.
That's a big tree to replant and maintain. It is awful hard to take that plant.
Nope, 100%. And,
That
but
tree
similar
and-
to the tree issues as well, we also want to look at.
Can
what's
you
gonna
try
be
to save
better.
them?
Pardon me?
Try to save the
100%.
4 arborvitae. I know it, you're right. I'd hate to see them go
I
too.
would too.
We have
And
the
did we
water
come
line
to a
coming through
number
Yeah.
of trees?
No, everybody, nice.
They're talking about getting us 4 new trees.
The number that out of the 2 be removed trees that will be removed?
You're
You said
removing
you need
6,
some.
removing
There were
6
6
trees
on there, but
and giving us 4.
But the 4 aren't going to be as big as the 6 that are going, so could we keep a couple of the 6, like
That's
4
what
and
we were-
4?
That's what we were thinking about, it, the two.
I just
on-
want to get it, so make sure it's specific, so that, because, when we come and look, we'll be like, no, I said 4, no, I said 6.
No, that's
have
100%
it.
fair. I also have it in my notes too, so
Yeah.
I know you'll have it in yours.
Okay.
Okay,
We have a second bite?
yeah, you want one?
I do.
Okay.
So, I want to go back to this extended fill-in, as you called it, deck and pergola area, which is within the 30-foot no-activity zone, and it's not the original footprint.
Right, no, actually, the fill-in section was the structure, the house structure itself, that is the fill-in piece, because there's a, if you might, this area here, we're filling in this area, which does not encroach into the 30, but the deck area, see this, pardon me, this piece here
Yeah,
is outside of the 30. It's this
Oh, no,
element.
you got the wrong 30.
yeah, you've got the wrong
You
30.
have to use the
That's why
yellow,
glasses were invented.
you have to use the orange 30.
Everything's in the 30.
Orange.
Everything in this house is in the 30.
Everything's in the 30 within the top. in the
That's
top.
why we have him talking instead of me on this.
So in the past, we have denied permission to change footprint in the resource area, but also in the no-activity zone. I'm asking the architect, I guess, is there a way to redesign this to stay completely within the within the original footprint? And I ask it as an open-ended question, but I know what the answer is.
Well, we're not allowed to condition it if it's in the 30.
I would have to say not as successfully.
Of course.
You know, because we originally looked at that, in fairness. We originally looked to try to stay solely in the original footprint. And it made the structure look very lopsided. It wasn't balanced at all. So we thought that, with some of the trade-offs that we were utilizing, that we were trying to infill that to square the house off, make it a little bit more in keeping with the neighborhood, in the context of what the neighborhood would want to be, certainly in that location.
So you're hoping like to compensate by the removal of the shed, for example?
Right, we did square footage. Yeah, we looked at the square footage trade-offs.
The increased recharge and the new comes in with anything that's gonna have the same thing, so.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, I have great respect for the sensibilities of an architect,
Appreciate that.
but I also have sensibilities for what we're required to do as a conservation commission.
Agreed, as do we, and that's one of the things that Zach and I work closely on to make sure that we were doing in totality what would be best for everybody. And I think we've exercised that as best possible.
I have a question.
Yes. Oh, Jessica, I'm sorry. I asked, okay, I did ask. Okay, thank you.
You did ask me, but I have a question now. I'm noticing in the file, so it sounded to me like you had said that there was not a meaningful expansion of the lot coverage. Is that right?
Meaning?
I'm asking only because it seemed like in the file that this was denied originally because the floor area ratio expanded so significantly to exceed what was allowed by right, and so it was denied.
No,
Is it-
we're going to zoning board of appeals because of this lot setbacks and the structure, the age of the structure where it sits in relationship to the lot lines. We have to get a special permit. So the building department requires that we submit the building application, then they issue a denial letter until we get through ZBA. So we're scheduled to be in front of ZBA next week.
Next week.
Okay, so but it is correct that he did deny your application. I mean, he cites specifically the floor area ratio being proposed is increasing from 8.9% to 20.3%. And on this plan, it looks like it's in excess of 24%.
No, so
Right.
it's going up to the 23
Proposed is
from the zone.
24.6%.
And to be clear, the denial letter is the town policy in order to get before the zoning board of appeal. So that's why the denial letter was issued. So,
I'm familiar with the process.
well, and I due respect, I didn't mean to suggest otherwise.
That's quite all right. But I'm just reading right off of your plan here. Proposed is 24.6.
20.3, yeah, 2462 is the gross floor area calculations, 2462. So it's going from, because it's a single-story structure at 9.6, and by putting the second floor on it, it bumps it up to 20.3.
All right.
There are two additional porch areas. It looks like you're converting an existing shed to the footprint of the house. And then there's a porch added to that section, and another porch added to, just on the other side of that L. So that's two more porch areas that are also within the 30-foot no-activity zone.
Yeah, and that's just a relationship because of the house coming up in elevation because of the floodplain requirements.
And required by code, because that's what our requirement.
So you have to have somewhere, but I
We
understand that.
minimize those two.
I understand that, but that does increase the square footage that you're adding within the 30-foot no-activity zone.
But that's also in your calculations in our trade-offs, yes.
Yes, we show the corners up there, so.
Okay.
How are you attaching the porches to the ground?
So that would be the diamond piers.
Okay, I did hear that.
Yep.
Thank you. The banking, all that invasive plants along the banking will stay undisturbed?
That'll stay undisturbed.
I
Yep.
want that in the conditions, that there will be no change in the vegetation on the slope or the banking, whatever, however you might refer to it, because it is all invasive. The little sucker, then bittersweet gets everywhere. And then Phragmites.
We like it as much as you do.
I'm a gardener, you know, I had no idea. Okay. Just for the record, I did speak to an abutter who had no comment on the project. He's not available, and I did show him the plan, and there was no comment. Anybody online or in the audience would like to speak to this project? Because it's going to change the character of the area. 2 stories.
We'd like to think better.
You like to think better,
For the better.
as opposed to the burnt-out structure. Just out of 1925, off topic, have you gone to Historic Commission for a,
Not yet, until we get through ZBA, we wanted to start with you guys.
okay, I
and
just
then-
wanted to make sure they were covered. I'm sorry.
As I brought that up earlier.
You did it. You did that already. So, thank you. All right. Nobody online? No one in the audience? Christine, your comments?
So, like most of you, I also have concerns about all the work in the 30-foot no-activity zone. Because there are quite a bit of porches added, and then there's the pergola and the deck above. So the main reason that the existing footprint wouldn't be used is because it would make the house look strange.
That was the reason for infilling it, and the reason for the porches and the deck is we raised the structure up because of the floodplain with the access of getting everybody around the house to meet the building code requirements.
And
Yeah.
because of the difference in the grade, we thought that a terracing type of stairs to the deck, to the front porch would actually be softer, as opposed to just having a Somerville stair, if you will, or something that goes very steep. We have to get up to that level. We have to raise, we do have to raise the structure. So we thought that that was actually more of a softening. And we didn't carry it straight across the front either. I wanted to try to minimize that impact too.
So
How tall? How many feet?
Single story.
No, how tall are you raising the thing? I don't have it in my notes. 14,
Numbers.
Yeah, the structure the top of foundation is 17, it goes
17?
it goes up to 20, so it comes up 3 feet, the structure.
Sorry, I interrupted you, sorry.
Oh, wow, you made me lose my train of thought.
You're not old enough.
That's me.
I do. I was just gonna say. I do remember one thing though, as far as any sort of like stockpiling or, vehicle access, are you planning to do any of that on Atlantic Avenue?
We'd have to coordinate that with DPW and everything. I mean, most of the stockpile is going to be trucked right out. It's going to be loaded into a truck and taken off because of the limited site.
Yeah, I did have one abutter actually talk to me about concerns about whether or not Atlantic Ave was gonna be blocked off or not, so that's why.
Yeah, we would coordinate with all the neighbors ahead of time with the construction schedule.
And this client's very cooperative. The owner is very cooperative. He's actually in the building trades himself. So he's fully on board, obviously. This is his home that he wants to do. He'll be respectful of the neighbors, and they'll coordinate that as well. If anybody has a problem, I know that he'll say, just come to me if there's an issue.
And I remember what it was. As far as the diamond piers, they have some sort of footprint, since they're just, being blocks on the ground and having the pins. Do you know how much
I can
of
get
that
you
surface?
Yeah, get the surface area.
Yeah, just for all of that.
And we'll also look at the pneumatic ones too, because I actually think they have a smaller footprint as it penetrates the ground, so.
Yeah, I just want to know what the exact square footage is for anything that is going to be in that 30, or anything that's
Absolutely.
proposed to be in that
We can
30-foot.
get cut sheets for that, sure.
Anything for anybody else? If not, around the board, anybody?
I just don't see how we can condition something if it's in the 30-foot zone.
Now, are any of these decks or porches on the ground, or are they all elevated?
They're going to be elevated up.
So the only impact in the ground will be the anchoring system? Sorry, Paula Jean.
Okay. Just thinking of future projects, once we set a precedent and bend the rules, it comes back and bites you.
And we've denied projects like this
We
before.
have, yeah. So in the interest of consistency.
Absolutely.
What we've done is ask for a redesign
Yep.
to comply with the concerns and frankly, with the bylaws and the state law. which is why I asked that open-ended question, is there any way, other way to do it? And of course, there is. There's always another way of doing it.
Fair enough.
So that would be my inclination, Madam Chair, would be to ask for a redesign respecting the 30-foot no-activity zone.
Yeah, but everything's inside the 30-foot. If you look at the,
Just staying within the original footprint is what I meant.
including, using the anchorage of the decks and everything else to be included in the original footprint.
Yes.
Everything.
I think we're battling, if I could speak, just the floodplain and the building code requirements of getting the house up out of, the limb was here, the back, we're getting everything up, and it's just meeting the building code requirements coming around. We understand your concern, and again, this is why we brought it in front with this, because it's a unique situation with a lot like this on its own merits.
Yeah, it's not unique. We see these
Yeah.
fairly frequently, once in a while, we see these things where the applicant is really between the hammer and the anvil, where you have zoning requirements, you have health, Board of Health requirements, but you also have Wetlands Protection Act requirements. So really, the way to deal with it is to reduce the footprint, or reduce your expectation to the existing footprint. That way you are able to handle, you're able to get out from between the hammer and the anvil.
Understood. Well, one thought we had is if we were to take the deck space that's closest to the water and change that out to a surface patio space, impervious patio space, would that be of something of interest? Because technically it's less structure. We don't need support systems for it because it's going to be at grade. We do need to have one more step from our landing to get to it. But I've spoken with the client, and that's something that they would be willing to consider. So it'd be an at-grade patio versus a deck structure. So
Show
that's
me
a-
where you want to put that patio in,
This would be the patio third.
which means it will be on the ground.
Everything's at
Yes.
the ground then, which, but I,
But if it's pervious, does that, without structure, is that not helpful? Does it?
It's still a disturbance in a place that hadn't been disturbed, which is what we are concerned about within the 30-foot.
well, it is.
That's
true.
fair, but there was a former deck there. Granted, I can't prove to you that it's the same size, so I'll be honest and say that it wasn't. But there is a deck structure that's in that exact same location. That's why we thought to put it there.
If I look at the existing condition, there's a small existing deck on the southeast side. You've now turned that into the structure of the house, and then the new deck exceeds that.
But isn't it out beyond that as well?
Well, so right now, it is disturbed, it's not native vegetation, it's in a lawn area. So it's already a disturbed area with it, so our thought process on all this is it's already been disturbed. We're not looking to come in and disturb the no-touch 30 with it. It's already a pre-existing disturbed area. We're reducing lawn area with the structure on it, so that's less nitrogen runoff coming through the structure with it. So in the grand scheme of things, the overall project, even though it does go within the 30 because of the lot conditions, does provide a benefit because it has reduced lawn area on the lot, results in a new nitrogen septic, denitrification septic system on it, a new coastal floodplain structure, resilient structure. So from a conservation standpoint, it hits all the requirements from stormwater runoff, constructability, no impact on the bank, recharging and improving groundwater quality there, so.
Just the one more thing to hit.
Yeah.
One more thing.
I know.
My apologies for checking my phone. I just want to make sure my client wasn't texting me something.
So there's a
But
porch.
that's not a concession. Those things all have to be done anyways.
Yeah.
If you're rebuilding, so it's not a part of a compromise.
But the rebuild for not looking for a compromise, but I think there's a net benefit for the rebuilding of the structure and the project with it.
So it seems to me that, if you don't mind, Madam Chair,
Go.
it seems to me that you're facing a choice here. And that choice would be conveyed to us. we're asking you to, I think we're asking you to redesign to stay within the original footprint for any areas of that building that are within the 30-foot no activity zone, or denial of the application. That's how I'm feeling, that's how I feel. And maybe I'm reading that correctly from the rest of the commission. We'd have to take a vote to know for sure. But I'm trying to ask you what you're willing to do at this point.
Do we have a moment to confer outside and come right back?
Or we could do a continuance.
You want to table? You want to table this and have them come back?
Ask for continuance and then come back.
Or we can do a continuance and have you come back in 2 weeks with an option?
Yeah,
That might be the better option.
Better.
That way I have a chance to confer with my client to see
Sure.
what they'd like to do.
Yeah.
In everybody's best
You
interest.
can tell we are pretty concerned about this 30-foot. And the whole property is within 30 feet of the coastal bank. Of the coastal bank?
Yeah, the coastal bank.
The orange one, or the yellow one, whatever that color is. Yeah.
And once again, before we get too tight into the 30-foot, remember it's the 100-foot is the buffer zone, and the 30-foot is just the no activity. So we're concerned about that whole 100-foot area that's
Yes.
within our jurisdiction, not just the 30-foot. So just keep that in
Yes.
mind as well.
We have denied projects within the 30-foot.
Yeah.
I don't remember denying within the 100.
Right, but they still have to comply with certain
we do have to
things.
comply with it, yes.
And if I may, I would say,
People want to see
I
it.
understand that this property was burned out. Is that right?
Yes,
It had a fire, but it's still standing.
well, partly.
So I think we're not trying to say that nothing is possible. It's just not necessarily an opportunity to maximize it at the expense of the environment.
Okay. So,
Could we cordially ask for a 2-week continuance?
would you like to go, what's the next one?
January 21st. The 21st.
Move to continue to January 21st.
second.
I have that motion, and to continue it until 1/22,
And Paul Jean seconded it.
1/22, right?
21.
21.
Yep.
God, I'm not listening. I have a motion and a second to continue until January 21st. All in favor, Jessica?
Aye.
Scott? Paula?
Aye.
Jean? Mikey?
Aye.
Sorry, Mikey. Michael?
I've been called worse.
Kwame? Sandy? Yes.
Thank you, we'll see you in a few weeks.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate your comments.
All right.
All right.
Next one is the
the
abbreviated
Red?
notice of,
Yeah, and Red. All right.
what, you want it?
Yeah, I have it right here.
Okay.
On the request for abbreviated notice of resource area delineation for MBE Management Corporation, 20 Tower Terrace, Wareham, Mass. 02571. The applicant is seeking confirmation of the delineation of the portion of the portion of bordering vegetated wetlands and the isolated vegetated wetlands which occur on the project site. No work is proposed at this time. Map 61, lot 1016, 1017, 1018, 1019, 1020, 1021, 471, 473, 477, and 481 Main Street, Wareham, Mass. Finally, notice to open hearing.
I have that motion. I heard it second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Jessica?
Aye.
Sorry,
Scott.
Jessica, Scott.
Aye.
Paula Jean.
Aye.
Michael.
Aye.
Kwame.
Yes.
Sandy, yes, the hearing is open. And who's here oh, hi. Who's here representing the project?
Brian Grady, GAF Engineering. We filed this ANRAD looking for confirmation of a portion of a bordering vegetated wetland located on the property and 2 small isolated vegetated wetlands. I did walk the site with Christine. We looked at the flags. Christine had no changes to any of the wetland flags. And if I could answer any questions.
Jessica?
No questions.
Scott?
No questions?
Paula Jean?
I don't know if I should ask this, but I'm just really curious. Although no work is proposed at this time, what is the project? It does get referred to as the project site.
Well, there will be a project to be determined based upon.
Secret project.
Yeah,
Okay,
Yeah, no,
just thought I'd ask.
We haven't put pencil
Thank
to
you.
paper for
Okay.
anything regarding any project yet.
All right, thanks.
Michael,
Okay, no questions, thank you.
Kwame.
None for me, thank you.
It's the one next to the Historical Society buildings, right?
Across from the Trinity
It's
Church.
the old screen building, the old Makepeace screen building across from the church. Part of the church parks on the property.
Parking lot for the church is there.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then it goes over to the old
Histor-
screen building, yeah.
The Historical Society, okay, I'm just trying to put it on Main Street. Christine, any comments?
No. It's a very thorny area,
You good with them?
yeah.
Any comments from anybody online or in the audience of this project? Okay,
Motion to close the hearing?
I have a
Second.
motion to close the hearing in a second. All in favor, Jessica,
Aye.
Scott, Paula,
Aye.
Jean, Sandy,
Yes, aye.
Michael,
Yes?
Kwame.
Yes.
Hearing is closed. Christine, your recommendation?
It's accurate for the bordering vegetated wetland and for the isolated vegetated wetlands on the parcels,
So moved?
which is a 1A, B.
Okay,
Second.
second. All in favor?
Aye.
Jessica,
Aye.
Aye.
Scott, Paula, Jean, Michael, Kwame,
Yes.
Sandy,
Yes.
yes.
Thank you.
Christine, could you repeat what the determination is?
Yeah.
It's technically a 1A, 1-2A, but it's just confirming that the boundaries are accurate for both the bordering vegetated wetlands on site and the isolated vegetated wetlands.
Yep, thank you.
We have a continued hearing
I still have
For-
cuts on my legs.
Bossy, is, wait a minute, I gotta find my notes. Where did it go? At 95 Edgewater Drive, they have requested we withdraw.
Yes.
I need a motion to accept the withdrawal.
I move that we accept the withdrawal.
Second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, we go Jessica, Scott,
Aye.
Paula, Jean, Michael,
Yes.
Kwame, Sandy, yes. We accepted the withdrawal. Next, we have a safe harbor. They have requested, they continued until February 18th. There will be no comments on it. We have received several letters and comments on them, but since we are continuing the hearing and the applicant's not here, there will be no discussion on it. So I need a motion to continue into February 18.
So moved?
Second?
Motion and a second. All in favor is Jessica.
Aye.
Scott.
Aye.
Paula Jean. Michael.
Aye.
Kwame.
Yes.
Sandy. Yes.
And just for the public comments that have come in for anything on Safe Harbor, they're all uploaded to the online application, so anybody can read them.
Okay,
Thank
thank you. The next one is Seven Burgess Point is already continued until 3/18. Just give me a second to find my paperwork. Where'd they go?
It's going to be
Andrews.
spring.
Andrews. The next continued hearing is the town of Wareham. Minot Ave and Narrows, it's continued until 3/18, so we continued with the bike path. Let me pull that folder out. Next continued hearing is 8 Johnson Street, Virginia Greer Turner. Anybody here for that?
So there still isn't a file number for this one, and it's because of there needing to be a check sent to NHESP.
So they haven't paid.
Haven't paid that to NHESP. The applicant was trying to speak with somebody at NHESP, but I haven't heard anything about it.
Move to continue to
Second.
January 21st.
Continued until January 21st. I have that motion.
Second.
I have a second. All in favor is Jessica, Scott,
Aye.
Paula, Jean,
Aye.
Michael,
Aye.
Kwame,
Yes.
Sandy. We're continued. We have River Hawk LLC. Anybody here for that project?
So that one was, the last time that they were here, he had asked if anybody wanted to go on a site visit, which I reached out to him. I told him who was interested, and I asked availability. I have not heard back from him. I'm going to give him a call tomorrow and see if, because I know he doesn't seem to answer emails very often.
So we're going to continue until January 21st?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, Jessica,
Aye.
Scott, Paula, Jean, Michael,
Aye.
Kwame, Sandy
Yes.
will continue it until 121. We have Valenti at 0 Piercefield Road. Anybody here for that project? Please come forward. Do we have a DEP file?
Oh, yeah, this has had a DEP file number. This one had been continued because of changes made for
All right.
planning board, I believe.
So who's here representing this project?
William Connolly, Zenith Consulting Engineers.
Okay,
So yeah, I understand it's been a little while since the last time we met. We have received a DEP file number, and I believe the cul-de-sac was staked out as requested by the commission. There was one minor change to the plan, as requested by the planning board. So the previous plan that was before you, the sidewalk ran down this side of the roadway. They requested that the sidewalk was moved to the other side to accommodate these houses. So it moved it further away from the resource area. With that being said, I'll open it up to any questions.
Jessica?
No questions.
Okay, Scott, it's up to, I know what you want. You
It's
want a
up to me.
bond. You want a bond.
I want a bond. Yeah, so I see you have, under the 1.0 stormwater collection system, there is some active engineering. So there will be a sediment forebay that'll have to be cleaned out periodically, every 6 months, every year, whatever it is.
Yep.
So we're working on this idea of having a 20-year, say, a 20-year bond to make sure that that maintenance is carried out. So I would suggest, as the engineer, you include that in your proposal to your client.
Okay,
We're going to require that.
understood.
$20 and how much?
Well, the engineering firm needs to provide us with an estimate of what it's going to cost to clean these out. I've talked to another engineer who told me that's a normal part of their preparation, is to provide a fee schedule or cost schedule for those kind of cleanouts. But I've seen anywhere between $1,000 and $3,500 a year in 2013 dollars. So that's like close to $5,000.
Yeah, I believe we propose an estimated fee in the operation and maintenance schedule, which is pretty standard.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to figure out what it would be then. You figure about 2.9% inflation over 20 years and add it up, and there you go, there's your bond.
Yep.
Yes, please.
Standard bond increase is 30%. So whatever the bond is determined to be, it's an additional 30% for the coverage of increasing costs.
Okay.
So it's $100, it becomes $130. Did I do that right?
Good job.
I know more zeros than 100.
All right.
All right, so Paula Jean, any other questions on the project?
No, thank you.
I know this was Faith. She was very concerned about the cost of maintaining the stormwater on this. Michael,
No questions, thank you.
Kwame,
None for me, thank you.
okay. Christine, any comments?
No.
Okay. Then I will ask Josh, how do we make a bond happen? We've never done it before.
So what you'll do is you'll ask the applicant to produce a fee schedule. Normally, once you get that fee schedule, we would talk to our town engineer peer review to confirm that those numbers actually make sense.
Has there a peer review been done on the project for planning?
They're currently in front of planning. I would say the project is just about wrapped up in front of planning, but we do have a 53G with the peer review consultant established already. So we could definitely incorporate that into the planning review if you want.
All right. So if I'm hearing this correctly, we are going to ask the applicant to provide an engineering plan for the estimated cost of a 20-year bond to maintain the stormwater system. And it will be reviewed by our engineer, our peer,
Allen and Majors. Yep.
okay. And then we'll come back and agree on, Mr. Bowen has to, does he get involved?
So normally.
just you?
No, Mr. Bowen wouldn't get involved as long as we have a recommendation from Allen and Majors. And Will, if you want to just put that together and send it off to Phil.
Okay, yeah, that's certainly something we could do.
Thank you. Anybody in here want to comment on this project? Please come forward and identify yourself.
How we doing? John Christopolsky. I'm in a butter to this development. I've been attending the planning board meetings and stuff since beginning of this May and June. My big thing is, like, the last month meeting, you had mentioned that Paula Jean took a walk out there to see if there's any roads, the trees. How big is the road gonna be? What trees are staying there? You mentioned that on November 5th.
Yep.
I didn't hear any comment on that tonight.
I think it was because nothing was staked or flagged when I walked there. So didn't you just state that it had been subsequently that it's now flagged and staked?
Yeah, there was some additional items staked out.
'Cause we're gonna need all of it.
Yeah, the limit of work, I believe the entire roadway within the 100-foot buffer was all staked out. So,
I took a walk out there yesterday, and there's no new boundaries, like you said before. Markers in the trees, and there's a couple, stakes there with basins, and then they got a roundabout at the end, which is the cul-de-sac.
Right.
My main concern is, like, with the sidewalk issues that have been brought up at the planning board is, my brother's got the property right next to the road. I'm adjacent one over. They said that the drainage had to be changed because the washout in the water was gonna come on our property. They said they revised it and stuff, so I'm just making sure that we're not gonna have an issue there.
Of course. Well, I personally have not been back there this week. I spent quite a hike there originally. So
Right.
I don't know if it's
And then
changed.
I read in catch basins that they regraded the entrance of the development. They say that now the water's gonna come out to Pierceville Road. Pierceville Road, if that water's coming out to Pierceville Road to County Road is quite an incline.
Yeah,
It's always a washout down there. About a year and a half ago, Wareham retired from County Road to the top of Pierceville Road, and they put the Cape Cod berm there, because we were losing a lot of sand and stuff. There's 2 catch basins down there that are horrible. The water puddles up across from there, so with that last catch basin that he's saying now that they're gonna put at the entrance, I believe that's gonna be a major problem down the road.
so for this filing, in front of the conservation tonight, it's just for the roadway and the drainage within the jurisdiction of the conservation, which that's outside of, that's something that we could discuss at the.
At the planning
Yeah,
board?
planning.
They'll be at the planning board?
Yeah.
Because we've discussed that before, the sidewalk issue, and I know it's still up in the air there.
Yeah.
And Even yourself said that.
Yeah, and what Will is saying is really, we're really only looking at everything that's kind of adjacent to the pond tonight. That's really the only jurisdiction that the Conservation Commission has.
There's a catch basin there. I see where they got the no silt. The no silt is all along the reservoir. That reservoir wasn't done 15 years ago. I've lived there all my life, right off of County Road in Pearsall. There was a small reservoir there. 3 years ago, they quadrupled it. You can see how big it is now. It was just a small thing. That catch basin that's right on top where the sill sock is, that's not gonna be a problem with wetlands within so many feet from that?
So everything within the roadway is being collected. Any runoff is gonna be collected through the catch basins and sent through the stormwater system. It's gonna be treated and then go into that infiltration basin.
That's right next to the,
So there's no
Reservoir.
concern about any of the runoff from the roadway going directly into the resource area.
I just know, I'm basing it on November 5th, where it's been 2 months now.
Yeah.
What you requested has not been done yet.
Will, was your staking primarily within the 100-foot buffer? I'm sure you did like a center line of road, that kind of stuff, but. So I think we did the edge of roadway.
Edge of
around
road?
the cul-de-sac.
Okay.
I don't know where it extended to, but I know it was at least this portion of the cul-de-sac. I walked it with the surveyor who put the stakes in.
When did you do that?
That was
Most recent?
probably the week of our last meeting, which was maybe a couple months ago now.
Early December.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was November 5th was
November
the
5th.
first big one. Okay, so
Yeah,
subsequent
so-
to that,
Yeah, it was probably the week after that.
okay.
I should also note that, on the Conservation Commission, we normally think of ourselves as being limited to these conservation areas and the buffer zones and so on. But the town bylaws also state that the stormwater sewer system, so not the septic sewer system, but the stormwater sewer system is a shared responsibility of the town's maintenance department, the Board of Health, and the Conservation Commission. So by the town's bylaws, we actually have authority with our partners in town far beyond what we normally think of as our boundaries. So we've never done, in my experience, we haven't extended into those areas, but our jurisdiction does extend anywhere where the storm sewer system runs. Josh, I don't know if you were aware of that or not, but it's certainly in the, and I don't remember which section
Yeah, I
of the
would want to look
bylaws.
at the language before I make a
Yeah.
comment on this one, especially if it's not identified in your bylaw specifically.
Yeah, I was shocked to see that actually this Conservation Commission has responsibilities in 12 different sections of the bylaws.
Interesting. Yeah, let me look at the language. I don't want to
Yep.
put my foot in my mouth on this one.
Yep.
And I understand, like you say, the catch basins and all the road work has to be, it's gonna be covered underneath the HOA. Planning board has also asked the same thing, because someone's gonna buy a house. The HOA is gonna be very expensive there, due to the maintenance of the road, the snow plowing, the clearing, and that's the thing that you brought up on November 5th as well. Make sure that's specified in there, and
Right.
before this all gets accepted.
All right, so we're looking for anything else? If not, we'll continue until on January 21st, looking for a report from the engineering and estimated cost of the bond. Right? Did I say that right? I did.
For a fee schedule. yeah.
Or fee schedule? Fee schedule.
Yeah,
So that a bond amount can be calculated.
Right,
Right.
right.
So move to continue to January 21st.
Second?
I have a motion and a second.
Aye.
All in favor, Jessica, Scott, Paula
Aye.
Jean,
aye.
Michael,
Aye.
Kwame.
Yes.
Sandy. Thank you. Thank you,
For your
William.
time.
Thank you
Thank
all
you.
for your time.
Thank you, John.
Thanks.
Okay, the next one is 54 Marion Road, and Mr. Menard just stepped out. Oh, who's coming up here to present us the Faring Bridge project for the fishy, for the,
Oh, what about the Widow's Cove
Oh.
Lane? One-
okay. 16 Widow Cove Lane has asked to be withdrawn.
Oh, okay.
Move
Make
to
a
accept,
I
motion
move
to
that we
withdraw.
withdraw it, yeah.
move to accept the withdrawal.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Oh, Jessica?
Aye.
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 Scott,
Aye.
Paula Jean, Michael,
Aye.
Kwame?
Aye.
Withdraw. Sorry, I forgot that one. All right, we are at the Faring Bridge, and they want to talk about how to take care of the little fishies. Right? All right, please identify yourselves.
My name is Eric Silva. I work for Park Corporation. We're here representing the town of Wareham for this project.
Erica Klinkhammer, environmental scientist for Park Corporation.
Now, I'm going to ask you to take your names slowly and spell them, because someone doing our minutes. Okay, Erica, Klinkhammer.
Yep,
E-R.
Hjmmer.
That's one, and your name again, sir?
Eric Silva, ERICSILVA.
All your names are on the documents, and Dave Menard. Hi, Dave.
Hi,
I'm
how are ya?
sorry, side point. Thank you for filling that pothole on Minot Ave. My right wheels are very happy. Sorry, it was a pretty nasty pothole. All right, Erica,
Driving here.
Eric, which one you want to start?
I'll just start with a general overview of, I guess, where we're at right now. Then I'll let Erica take over the environmental side of things. So since we were last in front of the commission, we added a smelt habitat south of the bridge within the river. That was requested by DMF. The actual bridge itself, nothing has changed there as far as impacts or any other parts of the design. The only thing I think that's changed since then is that we're doing a full closure of the roadway and building the bridge in one phase instead of two. But again, the limits of the impacts are the same. If anything, it's probably a benefit because now we're going from two construction seasons down to one. So you're reducing the duration of the temporary impacts. You're able to restore it sooner. So really the reason why we're here is that impact to the smelt habitat, because of the smelt habitat downstream of the river. It adds about almost 100 cubic yards of dredge and fill that we need to basically replace the stream bottom natural material with 6 to 12 inch angular stone that the smelt used to spawn. So yeah, I'll let Erica take it from here, but yeah, that's really the only change since, as far as the design, since last time we were here.
And I'm just going to point out to everybody where that area is. Apologies for not being highlighted.
And they're going to want to hear you in a microphone, so pass one up to her. Thank you.
So the area that,
John, can you hear her? Yes. Thank you.
the area that we are requesting the amendment for the order of conditions is just this downstream area over here. The original notice of intent application, our limit of disturbance terminated roughly right around here. So this whole downstream area that you see in the shaded gray area is our additional dredging area. As Eric was mentioning, the Division Marine Fisheries has requested this habitat, smelt spawning habitat area to be incorporated into the project. We had initially sent them a copy of the original notice of intent. During the hearing processes, there was a little bit of back and forth just to get the right size stone specifications from Brad Chase from DMF. So once we finally got the 12-inch stone, angular crushed stone kind of ironed out and the proper details, we add those to the plans. So the overall dredge quantities have increased about 191 cubic yards, almost doubled from what we had previously, but it's all for the benefit of providing the smelt spawning habitat. Bank increases, bank impacts will increase by 6 feet just to provide additional construction access for them to access the area. Most of the equipment is going to be coming in from it's going to be within the stream channel and the river channel, but it'll be coming in from the embankment slope and then trying to keep most of the equipment in the channel to do the work for the dredging, as opposed to disturbing any of the adjacent BVW or buffer zone. There was one comment from the Division of Marine Fisheries letter that we did not address on the plans, so if it would be acceptable to the commission, we could, or potentially you folks could commission that a thalweg, like a low-flow channel, be incorporated into the design. So currently, we just have a little bit of a,
Number? What dot
it's a bullet point number
or how it starts?
3, increasing the bridge span.
Okay, third one down.
Yep, so
Thank
it's just a little, what they're requesting is just a little V-notch formation in the stream channel. So that way, if there's ever low-flow conditions, the water just kind of has a place to go, as opposed to the water becoming more shallow, so that way the fish potentially would be inhibited from migration.
So you're
up the
not
coast.
addressing that one?
We have not yet, but if it's acceptable to the commission, if you're amenable to making that a condition, then we can just simply modify the plans and then send back a revised set of plans. It's not that difficult to add in, right?
No, it's not increasing impacts or anything like that. It's just changing the shape of the river. I don't think I have a section of it, but it would just be putting a V within like the middle of the channel, which is obviously simple enough to do on the plans and simple enough to do in construction while they're out there anyway.
And it would not increase dredge impacts from what we've reported.
All right. Anything else before I ask the questions? Okay, Jessica,
No questions.
Scott.
This smelting area, it's a lot of gravel, and apparently it's the right size for them to do whatever they do. Does that have to be cleaned or maintained or replenished over time?
No, the fish actually, so that particular size stone is preferable for them to spawn, so for the eggs to attach to. And then after the fish, okay, so they spawn in the springtime, so they're swimming up from the ocean. They spawn in the springtime, and then they'll swim back out to the ocean. But if they do kind of inhabit that area, they actually prefer zooplankton and some aquatic vegetation. So it'd be better to not maintain the area and then let any sort of vegetation grow, aquatic vegetation grow in.
All right, so will there be seeding then?
No.
Okay. That's all, thank you.
Paula Jean.
No questions, thank you.
Michael.
No questions, thank you.
Kwame.
None for me, thank you.
I have nothing. I'm sorry, Ms. Menard, what's the finish date for this project?
The sooner the better. I know, I wanted it already bid out, to be honest with you. It's, with the, Department of Marine Fisheries and stuff. This is actually, a little bit of an extra cost for the taxpayers and stuff that, I wasn't really expecting. But it's something I guess it has to be done. And the state, we still got a few more questions. They, they changed the rules midstream. So obviously, they want you to stick to the, adhere to the new standards, which is, extra design and everything else. So, yeah, a little frustrating, but we're trying to get through it, I'd like to get this done.
The bridge is how many feet, how many inches bigger than what have been covered by the state cost? I mean, it's not a small bridge, it's just beyond being a small bridge, which paid at all our cost?
20 foot's a small side, if it was under 20 feet.
And we're at,
Well, one
Like
side's
something like 20, about like 21 to 22.
yeah.
Yeah.
yes, that's a lot of cost for a foot and a half. Okay, Christine, any comments?
You guys are filing for the 401 water quality.
We actually just met with them today.
Oh,
for our
good.
Application meeting.
Yeah, I know that one takes a little bit more time, so.
I'm expecting Chapter 91 to take the longest, but
Actually, they were very good today on the Zoom meeting. You seem like they're
Yeah.
very cooperative.
Yeah, they want
They want help.
DP water quality is
Yeah.
great.
That's lucky. I feel like usually the Chapter 91 licenses take forever to come in, but not Chapter 91, the water quality takes forever to come in, but Chapter 91 comes in pretty quick.
Oh, we usually see the opposite.
Army Corps might also be a kicker, but we'll get there.
No, they'll be fine.
Is there anybody online or in the audience would like to speak to this project? Is there any questions on the board, any additional questions? Are we continuing or are we closing? There's nothing else pending, is there?
No.
So we can put the order of conditions based on the December 12th, 25 Division of Marine Resources and identify that as our order of condition, which includes the little V thing that the V thing that you talked about.
Yeah.
So, anybody?
So moved.
No, we're going to close the hearing.
Motion to close the hearing?
I have a motion to close the hearing.
That one.
And I heard, did I hear a second? I heard a second. All in favor. Jessica, Scott,
Aye.
Aye.
Paula Jean, Michael,
Aye.
Kwame,
Yes.
Sandy. The hearing is closed. Now, Christine, we have an amended order of conditions to include,
To include the compliance with the Division of Marine Fisheries letter from December 2025, bullet point number 3,
or the whole thing.
or the whole thing. But I think that was already a condition in the original.
Yeah.
A lot of it was repetitive.
Since we don't see a number 3 on here, we can very well just say the whole thing.
All right, just
Okay.
Works for us.
All right, so moved.
Second.
I have a motion, and I have a second. All in favor. Jessica,
Aye.
Scott,
Aye.
Paula Jean, Michael,
Aye.
Kwame.
Yes.
Aye.
Thank you.
Done. Thank you. Oh, it's almost 8 o'clock. Sorry, folks. We missed a meeting, so we were a little backed up with projects. Done. All right. We are now in the situation of certification of compliances. Okay, Christine, it's up to you.
So recommend the issuance for 761879.
So moved.
So moved.
Second. All in favor? Jessica.
Aye.
Scott.
Aye.
Paula Jean. Michael.
Aye.
Kwame. Sandy. Yes.
For 762455, recommend issuance of certificate of compliance.
So moved.
I have a motion.
Second.
Second. All in favor? Jessica.
Aye.
Scott. Paula Jean. Michael.
Aye.
Kwame. Sandy.
Yes.
Next, please.
For 762835, recommend issuance of a certificate of compliance.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor is Jessica.
Aye.
Aye.
Scott. Paula Jean.
Aye.
Michael. Kwame. I'm sorry. I'm getting a little tired here. Me. All yes. Next, please.
For 762901, recommend issuance of certificate of compliance.
So moved.
Second.
I have motion and a second. All in favor is Jessica, Scott,
Aye.
Paula Jean,
Aye.
Michael, Kwame, Sandy, yes. Okay, next, please.
Issuance of 762416, recommend issuance of the certificate of compliance.
So moved.
I have a
Second.
motion and a second. All in favor is Jessica,
Aye.
Scott, Paula Jean,
Aye.
Michael, Kwame, Sandy. Paula Jean, Michael, sorry, I did Paula Jean twice.
I'll aye again, too.
Aye, and Michael and Kwame, and yes.
Like a pirate.
You waited around for one of these to say yes?
Yes.
Well, thank you. 2 hours. Next, please.
For 762823, recommend issuance of a certification of compliance.
So moved.
I have a
Second.
motion and a second. All in favor is Jessica,
Aye.
Scott,
Aye.
Paula Jean, Michael,
Aye.
Kwame,
Yes.
Sandy, yes. Next, please.
For 761504, recommend issuance of a certificate of compliance.
So moved.
Second.
Motion, that's an old one,
Yes, it is.
not as old as the next one.
Nope.
All in favor is Jessica,
Aye.
Aye.
Scott, Paula Jean, Michael,
Aye.
Kwame,
Yes.
Sandy, yes.
For 76879, recommend issuance of certificate of compliance.
How old is this one?
95, I believe.
Wow,
Whoa.
that's not bad.
They must have finally wanted to think about selling the house. All in favor? We have Jessica,
Aye.
Scott, Paula Jean,
Aye.
Sandy, yay, Michael,
Aye.
Kwame.
Yes.
Yes, well done. We're now to continued enforcements, anything on them?
No, so just waiting to hear from GAF, since that is the engineer that the applicants at Reynolds Ave are working with. And for 21 Pleasant Street, I haven't gotten anything from it, but have to go out and take a look and see how it's growing back.
Once the snow sort of disappears.
Hmm?
Once the snow sort of disappears, you can see the ground better.
Yeah, but I mean, the
Right.
snow's already disappearing with some of the rain.
Report of the conservation agent.
I
Anything?
don't think I have anything new to report.
Okay, workshop permits, we're not doing, okay. Guess what? We're gonna talk about onset bluffs. Josh, you're up.
Again.
I'm gonna go sit over
He's got a,
here,
he's
'cause I
got a
don't think I've
proposal.
ever sat here.
He's got a
Give it a
proposal.
shot.
You sure?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever sat here.
Barbed wire.
Oh,
Ooh.
How's
that's
it
an
feel?
idea. It's an idea.
As long as it's stainless steel.
Wow. Cameras. How do you like that?
all right. This is an attempt to try to do something to cut down the illegal cutting, correct?
Let's hope so. I'm gonna grab the light.
You even got a presentation done? You worked on it this
Freezing in here.
afternoon.
Just took my sweater off.
Look at you.
You cold?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
Can I see Josh's presentation?
You most certainly can.
Woo!
Sorry, just trying to relearn Zoom, I guess. Okay. I am not getting that. Yeah, go ahead, John. Enter the full screen. I think that's on you. Yeah. Technical difficulties.
While we're waiting for the technical difficulties to be resolved, I would just encourage members of the Conservation Commission at some point, open up the town bylaws and just put a search in. This is a PDF. Just search out, just put Conservation Commission search. You'll find 36 sightings of it. Many of those are not within the main article that we generally think of as ours. So for example, no person shall operate a motor vehicle, construction machinery, moped, or recreational vehicle on any public salt or freshwater beach or marsh without a special permit issued by the Board of Selectmen upon hearing and findings, et cetera, et cetera. Any such permit shall be subject to review by the Conservation Commission. When's the last time we reviewed a permit like that?
Never, ever. We found, when we were reviewing the bylaws, we
John,
came up
thank
with
you.
those, all of those, remember?
I'm sure there's a lot of stuff in there that is not done.
Earth removal regulations, storm surge permits.
Hey,
Thank you.
okay. Here we go.
Okay. Thank you for bearing with me. Okay, so I'm sure none of you need to be reminded of where Onset is or the issues that we've had with the bluffs. Illegal cutting of the vegetation on the bluffs has been an issue for decades, I would safely say.
Yeah, to the point the state didn't like what we did at one time, and it was very costly.
Yep, at one point, the state did come in, fined the town, required that I think there was some mitigation that was required at the time. So what I would like to petition the commission to consider, and if I have to come back with a formal filing, that's what we'll do, is a selective, very vegetation management for a selected area. Currently, that area, and I'm sorry about the animations, I don't know how to change those, so my pictures are going to come in a funny way. But the area that I would like to focus on as, let's call it a test or trial run, is this area here. To the picture left, you have the Onset Pier. To the picture right, you have Stone Bridge. And these are the bluffs that are in front of, well, I guess not the band shell, but they're the bluffs that overlook Wickett's Island. We've seen illegal cutting here. Most of the time when we see this type of illegal cutting, an individual will go out, they'll prune the tops of some type of plant or shrub. And I think what they fail to realize is by pruning the top of these, you're really inhibiting growth to go out and then grow up. Where they think they're gaining a view, they're really just creating a more permanent issue for the next grow season. So what I would like to do as a test trial run is do selective pruning and clearing within this area here. And the reason I picked this area is because we've had a lot of public input, is how I'll put it, about the issues of the views from the memorial benches that are located along the bluffs. So here, what I did to grab these images was I stood in the middle of Onset Ave and tried to take pictures of where these benches were facing and what kind of view that they would have. And what the proposal would be is to go in, selectively clear out and thin some of these areas. All this work would be done by hand, and it would be done under the supervision of myself, which I know I have a lot on my plate, but what I'm thinking is I can go out and flag it before any of who I presume will be municipal maintenance.
Oh,
We'll
you
go
don't
out
want us
and-
to do it physically?
Would you like to assist?
I would,
Okay, well,
of course.
all right, well then that's a conversation we can have. But, I've identified a number of benches, and even some of the benches you'll see now, they really don't need clearing. Some of them are pretty well cleared. Deliberately or not,
Are you clearing based on sitting on the bench and what you see, or level to the top of the bluff?
No, my perspective would be is we go in, we sit on the bench, we see what view we can establish, and we try to keep the remaining vegetation between the benches at a level that probably promotes better growth. What I think is a challenge about the bluffs right now is you have a lot of invasives and you have a lot of high growth shrubs that are creating visual concerns for the public, and then they go out and they clear it on their own. Or they do something more drastic by, actually poisoning the plants. So, again, I've got some more photos of some more benches, and I did have a photo of a dead tree that I wanted to talk about,
We have
but
several trees that are very dead on the bluff, and you can definitely see that in the spring, because
Yeah.
they were salted.
yeah, yep, that's what we've heard. So
They were big trees.
some of them, yeah, some of
Yes.
the ones that we've identified, even in this project area specifically, are really old growth and probably need to consider coming down. But I've kind of put some unique thought into that proposal as well, understanding that the commission has a desire for some of these dead trees to remain as they create habitat for bugs and birds. I've actually been thinking of what, I haven't seen it, and maybe you guys have. I was actually thinking of maybe a process of where you top it at some point, you know, maybe that's 10, 12 feet in the air. And then I have this cool idea where you notch out part of the tree and you insert a birdhouse. I think that could be pretty interesting.
Sounds great.
But looking at this picture specifically on the right here, let's see if I got the timing to work on this one. Okay, so there's what the picture is. Oh, I want to stop it. Okay. Well, that ruined the presentation, but I was going to say, here's what we have now. That is not what I'm proposing. There's your red X. I don't want you to think that's what I am proposing. But hopefully maybe a proposal that looks something more like this one.
The Rosa rugosa, is that, or what?
Yeah, well, those are
Nice
rose
touch.
bushes. I couldn't actually get Rosa rugosa to populate in there, but that is the exact idea.
Virginia rose.
The same people who are very concerned about the view of the bluffs have also showed interest in maybe donating money to replant the bluffs as well. So I think the thought is that we could thin out the vegetation, and this might even be a little extreme to what I have in mind, but thin out the vegetation, bring in some new vegetation, some low growth vegetation, and maybe bring in things that are more salt tolerable, and hopefully remove a lot of the invasives. My goal, or maybe a dream of mine, is that we get the Buzzards Bay Coalition involved as well. With them having such a high stake with the bathhouse, I think improving this area is just going to benefit them even more.
Is the assumption that these illegal clearances are being perpetrated by bench sitters? Or by people who own properties that are not as mobile, like hotels and beach houses?
or a house, I understand where you're coming from with that perspective, and I would probably agree that it's a combination of both. A lot of the people that we've talked to have just really expressed concern about the bench areas, but we know historically, if someone's clearing, it's probably because they live right across the street.
Yeah, so I like this idea for a number of reasons. Chief among them is that there would be a visible presence of the town doing something in those areas. I'm not sure it would stop the illicit cutting, but it's something, and especially if other, maybe the Garden Club or the Land Trust or some of these other Buzzard Bay Coalition, Onset Bay Association, if these organizations were involved in putting crews together or whatever, I don't know how big a crew you want, Josh, but it would say so, and then, maybe an article in Wareham Week about this process, just to raise awareness that we know that,
Community.
that the illegal cutting is going on and it can't be tolerated.
Yeah, I would agree to that. And, one of my first initial concerns is putting too big of a crew together. Too many cooks in the kitchen turns into a ruined recipe.
Maybe not all at once.
Yeah.
One
A few.
One seating area at a time.
Yeah,
One bench at a time.
This is why I brought the proposal as a area specific. I think we could go down to Onset, knock on any door, and every bluff in Onset needs to be cleared if you ask, someone that lives right across the street. But this is also going to give us the ability to create maintained areas and then keep an eye on areas that aren't maintained, but we can actually identify, you know, this is some illegal destruction that's going on. And we could probably identify the areas between these benches as Conservation Commission no-touch areas. I mean, we have the signage.
So this is the section along Onset Ave versus East or West East Boulevard? Don't,
So the project
yeah,
area.
it's all along Onset Ave.
Yeah.
And when you set up the bench, will you be looking at any degrees outside the peripheral, or is it just straight ahead?
I think it's probably going to be just straight ahead. There might be a little bit of,
A little, depending on.
yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, if you're sitting
Well,
on a
I'm not
bench
gonna give
and-
them a whole 180.
No, I think we're gonna be very deliberate on, here's the bench, this is the view that you can have from the bench. And I think we'll go even, I think the picture that I've presented is a little overkill. I think we'll go more selective with the branches or the thinning that would happen.
Trimming on the bluff would be difficult because it is extremely steep. But I would like to see the planting being done at the top of the bluff as opposed to disturbing the sloping area of the bluff.
Yeah, and I think the top of
Reduce
the,
erosion.
I think the top of the bluff makes sense, especially when you start to talk about plants like Rosa rugosa.
Pretty when you drive
Um,
by, it enhances the area and all.
But I also wouldn't be against trying to get, you know, halfway down the bluff and putting in sweet pepper bush or low growth blueberry or something like
Beach
that.
plum?
Beach plum would be a great one.
This is our first step in turning Wareham into a food forest, maybe?
It
My
would be
dream.
great for the wildlife.
And the people who are
Yeah.
food insecure.
Don't, we don't want the skunks to come back.
So what,
I got a question here, though. If there are trees there that have been poisoned or salted, and they're just rotting away now, would any of any salt in there or any of say like the poisons in there, and we think that that's good that they're just rotting away for like birds or other whatever. Does that impact, though, the birds or any wildlife that may just want to call that
Oh.
habitat?
Would a woodpecker get himself in trouble by pecking at a tree that's been salted?
Correct.
Too salty.
I-
They're gonna,
I
They
think-
won't be at it.
I don't think we've heard any reports of someone actually using
Highly doubt it.
hazardous chemicals. I do
Right.
believe we heard reports of someone putting salt at the base of a tree. Do I think it would have any effect on wildlife? I don't think so. I don't think you're gonna see woodpeckers trying to build a house so close to the coastal exposure.
Too windy.
the salt is going to be leached away by now anyway.
yeah,
Yeah.
did its damage.
It was just
Pretty soluble.
It was just a concern I had, that,
Yeah.
just a thought I had, that's all.
So what do you need from us, Josh?
I think the first question I need answered is, do you want me to come back with a formal filing? Or is this something you feel you can approve administratively?
Well, a formal filing, you would have to identify every tree you're cutting.
For a formal filing, I would have to create a project scope and I'd have to notify every butter that's there as well.
Oh, man.
And wouldn't you also have to go to the state?
If it's an RDA, it's simply just mailing it. If it's a notice of intent, there will be a review.
Yeah.
Expense.
Or the
cumbersome.
alternative is,
You could approve it administratively and I could really heavily document what's happening,
Fantastic.
which is something I would like to do anyway.
well, haven't we already given you and Christine approval to take care of tree trimming and clearing without coming before us?
I think the approval that you originally gave me and Christine was a
Individual?
very low number of trees on a single parcel that were suspected of being hazardous.
I don't
Where
remember.
this is really for recreational purposes.
This is for Vista.
Aesthetics.
Yeah.
It's for Vista.
Aesthetics, yeah.
So I think what we need is, oh, and by the way, isn't there some provision for Vista clearing in that rules and regulations document that we worked on years ago? I believe,
A year ago?
a year ago, I believe there's something in there.
I did put some language in there
Yes.
for your consideration.
Yeah, so even though we haven't adopted that, maybe refer to that for the language, for the guidance and language.
Sure, that seems appropriate.
And just so you know, I have started working on those regulations. So I'm going through them. So if everybody can send me all of your comments and everything so I can incorporate them properly, I can get it out.
We'll wait till we see your draft.
Well, right now I'm just going through and basically cleaning it up and adding whatever comments I have. Because I know I still have comments from you that I've been putting in there.
You sent everything we did,
Yes.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and in the file that we had, that shared document,
Yeah.
your notes are more all physical, so I would need
Right.
to actually see
Sorry.
them. No, it's
I
okay.
understand that.
And while we're digressing, so you were going to add a section also on this bond thing, or maintenance of engineering
Yes.
things?
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we're gonna talk about that, there's some things that the board should consider while approving bonds. So bond companies will issue a bond, they require a percentage of the funds that they're covering from the applicant. And then, those bond contracts with the bond company usually have some type of shelf life. Most of the time, an applicant will come back and say, hey, I have my bond, here you go. And it will be for like 2 years.
No.
Oh,
That's,
lovely.
that's not the only thing that they grant, but it's something to look at when reviewing the
Okay.
bond. Is the expiration date.
Well, Christine will be reviewing the bonds, I'm sure.
Well, there you go.
Yep.
Well, thank you for doing this, Josh. I think it's a great idea. It's a real positive in so many ways. And the sooner we do
Yeah, I'm
whatever we
hoping,
need to do to start it, the better.
I'm hoping that if we take a proactive approach and, you know, as Scott said, getting members of the public involved,
Yeah.
that may create a sense of,
Protection,
not protection, but a sense of
awareness.
of involvement, of pride almost. You
Right.
know, if we were able to get, let's say, the Onset Bay Association involved, and a group of them go out and they put a bunch of time and effort into beautifying it, I think they'd be more likely to step in when they see something illegal happening.
I'm wondering also if like putting flyers on the abutters. You know, next week we're going to be pruning, you're welcome to join us. I haven't thought that through, but just even
Yeah.
more of an involvement, you know, of the actual
You get the
neighborhood.
too many cooks.
We'd
I
have
mean,
to
it's
sign a
so
lot
hard
of
to get-
releases,
Right.
liability
Put
releases.
their fingers on.
Well, you'd have to for any of the other organizations anyway, wouldn't you?
It could
What
very
if we
well-
asked businesses in Onset to sponsor a bench, a cleanup of an area of a bench? And then there really is kind of ownership in each
Oh,
block.
Good.
like how you sponsor a section of the highway.
Without them
Right.
physically involved in being underfoot.
That's an interesting thought, Jess.
I love that.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
And Onset Bay Association would be a good partner for helping to do that.
Yeah. That's a wonderful idea, Jess.
It's great.
You, Josh.
Okay, well, I believe I have my marching orders. If the commission is okay with what I've
Want
proposed.
to take a formal vote or make a motion
No.
or any?
No,
Okay.
I don't think so.
We
Okay,
want to
good.
see something written, though, some kind of a
record.
general plan?
It will be in the minutes.
Okay,
Okay, great.
all right.
Well, I don't disagree with Scott. Why don't I put together a small memo, if you will, of what I'm proposing?
And then we can,
If you want to act on it, you can. If not, at least we have it for the records of the town.
Good.
In case I hit the lottery tomorrow and decide not to come back to work.
Split, right?
I hope for that for you, though.
Thank you.
all right. Anything else? If not, we'll go on to our minutes.
Okay.
We have minutes on 11/5/25. I found them to be good without any comments.
Make a motion to approve the minutes
Second.
of 11/5/25.
I motion and a second. All in favor is Jessica, Scott,
Aye.
Paula Jean, Sandy, I, Michael.
Yep.
Kwame.
Yes.
So we're 600. And we were all here. The next set of minutes is November 19th. Did you make the change that we had on 19th? They had a vote of 700, and we only had 6.
Yeah, I
Okay.
fixed them.
The motion of 1119, we were all here.
Move to accept.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Jessica.
Aye.
Scott.
Aye.
Paul, Jean.
Hi.
Michael, Kwame, Sandy, 600. The next set of minutes was 12/3/25. There were a couple changes I made. River Hawk was no vote, and we had a motion to continue.
Yes, so
There was no the votes were not recorded for both for Turner and River Hawk. That got corrected?
Yes.
Okay.
Move
12/3.
to accept.
I have a motion to accept
Second.
and then second, all in favor is Jessica, Scott, Paula, Jean, Michael, Kwame, Sandy, 600. Thank you. So Jessica, how bad was the trip down?
The crying was kept at a minimum, so that's good.
How about the kids?
It was exactly. Well, they were fine. Yeah.
How cold is it? I hear the iguanas are dropping.
Oh, no.
It was quite cold last week, but it's today was a warm day.
Okay. All right.
Just a last note, I had a meeting with the Serpent Environment Committee this morning, and we went over, there's a new toolkit for stormwater management that's now available. And it was interesting to see some of the aspects that Will included in his plan that sort of went along with those new stormwater requirements. And we need to be interested in that because if anything that's within our jurisdiction, we need to be aware of this stuff. And then, as I say, otherwise, in the bylaws, we're on the hook, along with Board of Health and with municipal maintenance for all that the rest of it. Was it called SG4? MS4.
That's for the storm drains.
Sounds like a
Yep.
gang.
Town has to check them all out every year.
Yeah. and-
Thousands of them.
And we're jointly responsible. So, but Josh is going to read that bylaw
Get our
section. so-
hip boots out and the plunger.
Okay, anything else?
So if
Did
anyone
I-
wants that handbook, I can forward it to them.
That's all right.
You don't want it?
No,
I do.
Okay, all right.
I feel comfortable.
Okay.
Okay.
You want it?
Yeah, I should look at it.
Yeah,
I mean,
let's,
I trust
let's
you
set it
guys,
up.
but
Okay.
Set it up.
at least
I don't want it.
make myself okay
Delete the email.
once.
All right, we still haven't talked about the fines, but we're late, we're running.
Yeah.
And this is awful hard to look at our attempt to appoint
Yes.
Faith as our voting member.
So weird.
I'm having a tough time with this one.
Yeah. Can't tell.
Yeah, sad.
Okay, somebody at 8,
8:23.
I move that we
23.
adjourn.
I have a motion at 8:23.
Second.
All in favor? All at once. I'm not doing a roll call.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Thank you,
Take care, Jessica. Nice to see you.
Bye.
Yeah. Bye,
Bye, you
Jess.
guys.
Hi, Jess.